We're gonna get the program started today for the homecoming of Pastor Ted Freeman Jr. I want to introduce Mike Quill, our mayor here, who you'll be hearing from in a minute, and our guest of honor, Pastor Ted Freeman Jr. over here, with his brother Joe, who you'll be hearing from in a minute. My name's Chuck Mason. I'm city clerk here in Auburn, and we're going to start out with the first time for the City of Auburn that we're going to proclaim the month of September from the mayor as International Underground Railroad Month, and we're going to start out with the proclamation, reading of the proclamation, and present it to Pastor Freeman. So whereas states and entities across the country have embraced and designated the month of September as International Underground Railroad Month because it has been historically documented that it is the month that two of the most well-known freedom seekers and Underground Railroad operatives, Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, escaped from slavery. And whereas in 1998, the United States Congress adopted legislation titled National Underground Railroad Network to Freedom Act, creating the Network to Freedom program of the National Park Service with its mission to be, through collaboration with local, state, and federal entities, as well as individuals and organizations, to honor, preserve, promote the history of resistance to enslavement through escape and flight, commonly known as the Underground Railroad, which continues to inspire people worldwide. And whereas a local research study titled Uncovering the Freedom Trail in Auburn and Cayuga County was completed in 2005 and published by the City of Auburn's Historic Resources Review Board and the Cayuga County Historian's Office, documented over 100 sites in Cayuga County linked to the Underground Railroad, of which 12 are listed as partner sites of the National Park Service Underground Network to Freedom program. And whereas locally in the year 2022, the City of Auburn is celebrating this legacy of Harriet Tubman, the most famous conductor of the Underground Railroad, through the Harriet Tubman Bicentennial celebration. And whereas one featured event of the Tubman Bicentennial celebration highlights the story of the City of Auburn's Underground Railroad pioneers, Kate and Harry Freeman, founders of the New Guinea Negro settlement in Auburn, as told through the homecoming of their descendant, Pastor Ted Freeman Jr. And whereas through the work of many individuals involved locally at sites and organizations such as the Harriet Tubman National Historical Park, the Seward House Museum, the New York State Equal Rights Heritage Center, the Cayuga County Office of Tourism, Open Door, and the Howland Stone Store Museum, among many others, the preservation, promotion, and education of the legacy of the Underground Railroad is told daily as a significant part of our history here in Auburn and Cayuga County. Now therefore be it resolved that Michael D. Quill, Mayor of the City of Auburn, on behalf of the members of City Council and citizens of Auburn, do hereby proclaim in the year of Harriet Tubman's bicentennial celebration and upon the occasion of the homecoming of Pastor Ted Freeman Jr., that the month of September 2022 is hereby designated as Kate and Harry Freeman International Underground Railroad Month. And the first presentation that we have is a copy of the proclamation for Pastor Freeman. So, Pastor, here you go. Thank you, everybody. At this time, I'm going to introduce Pastor Freeman's brother, Joe. He's going to come up and talk and introduce Mayor Quill. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Let me clear my throat because this is kind of emotional. I'm seeing cousins, and woo, this is a full circle moment for me. Oh, Debbie. Okay. Mayor Quill. I was going to write some stuff about my brother, but I decided not to. I'll speak from the heart. He is my big brother. He has guided me. I've been pissed off at him. many times. He's helped me, my family, our family. He was the first to leave Auburn, and I was the last of our parents to leave Auburn, New York. And I left in 1977. I got his book, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, I've read books about Auburn. I remember the courthouse and all that. And I read the book. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know about the history. I didn't know about New Guinea. I didn't know about these things. I grew up here. I didn't know that. I just knew about, I didn't know the relationship with Harriet Tubman. I knew about Bill Freeman and William Seward. Bill being arrested for murder, and William Seward getting them off for insanity. But I left and I read the book, and I got to thinking that these two people who are obviously very, very, very different loved each other. They were family. These white, black people were family. So here I come back. I come back 20 years after I left, and I had this homecoming with my friends who I've developed an everlasting relationship with. White, black, indifferent, whatever. And that's the way this community's been. I didn't, Mayor Quill's brother and I were like this. It's remarkable, Ted, that you made us all proud of you. You are an example of faith, of perseverance, of forgiveness, of love, of your community and humanity. And to see everybody here, it speaks of your humanity, and I'm so proud of you, Ted. And for the rest of us, your brothers and sisters, we're so proud, and we love you. Now, enough of the emotional stuff. As I said before, Mayor Quill's and brother, who's now gone, Mark, and I were very tight. And I just saw a picture of Mark, which brought back a flood of memories growing up. So I'd like to now introduce the mayor who made all this possible, Mayor Quill. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Hall. You're at my mercy now. When you're with Ted, they have a tendency to talk just a little bit longer than you expected, so I'd offer the opportunity to go get a coffee or a bathroom break, but I know he won't come back, so just stick it out, please. First of all, in all sincerity, welcome to City Hall. I don't know how many, if any of you have ever been here before, but this entire building was given to the City of Auburn by the Osborne family. As you walk out this morning, on the left-hand side, there's a portrait of David Osborne, and it was through his family that this was a gift. They paid for everything, the purchase of the property, the architecture, the construction, the materials, everything. It was a gift. And then starting to my left, going around the rooms, are all the pictures of all past mayors. In the rear and the back to my left in the corner there's a plaque with approximately 10 names that we were unable to come up with a photo of them. So we wanted to, memorialize them. And then on top of that, there are two separate plaques of newer age, however you want. One gentleman I beat 4 times for mayor, so his name is up there. And there's another mayor's name, but they chose not to have a picture taken, so we're not ignoring them. And then off to my right, there's a picture of Melina Carnicelli. I think Melina likes to pronounce that way. Melina is our only female mayor, and I was asked, why is her picture different than anyone else? And it was her choice. When mayors leave, we ask them to have their photo taken, whatever photo they want, whomever they want. We're honored to have it here in City Hall. So as they say, all mayors like to be hung in City Hall, but not with a rope around their neck, okay? And no more silly jokes, I'll try. It's stated, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Down, I was on Fitch Avenue, Freeman's were on Chapman Avenue. A good golfer could hit their house with a driver. For me, it'd be a couple drivers, a chipper, and if I could only get past the pond there, you know, that wasn't really there, and the little windmill. But we played a lot of sports together, went all through St. Mary's School together. In the last time I think we seen each other was, you were in school, I believe. In Philadelphia. I was either just returning or just on my way to Vietnam, but we caught a plane together only by chance. And in those days, you could sit wherever you wanted to, except in the pilot seat. But we had a nice chat coming back to Auburn. So the Freeman family has always meant a lot to our community, as well as many other families. Not to belittle anyone. You know, to me, a city is like a brick building. The building is only as good as a single brick. And every family in this community is one of the single bricks. But together, we make a fantastic building, a fantastic community. I'm very proud of this city. I'm very proud of our friendship. When I was a young man, I wrestled in high school at 120 pounds. Ted was 121 pounds. Everybody that went to school with him knew that. But I seen him this morning. He was going to give me a bear hug. I said, oh, my God, he's finally going to get me. But we got through that, and I was glad to see him, as I always am. And his brother here, talking about my brother. Really, our families are very close. We played a lot of sports, and I'm trying to get done, honey. But this is, to me, this is a fitting tribute to a fitting person, a fitting family. The Freemans, everything, and their forefathers, their moms and dads and their grandparents, they have made our community, helped make it what it is. So I just want to say thank you. It's great to see you, and don't be a stranger, please. All right? Okay. So mayors always get the last word, and I do have a proclamation on behalf of myself, City Council, and all of us. Reverend Ted, if you'd come forward. Ted is good enough, Mike. All right, this is a, forgive me if I'm wrong, Ubuntu? Ubuntu. This is Ted Freeman is hereby presented this with the key to the city on behalf of myself, members of City Council, Terry Cuddy, Jimmy Genentino, Tim LaCastro, and Ginny Kent. September 15th, 2022. Young man, it's well deserved. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I get 5 minutes. I won't be like a pastor.
Well, I've got to, anybody's ever come to a council meeting, we have an egg timer up there.
Okay.
You're allowed 3 minutes to speak, and we stick to it, but I won't bother you with that.
Thanks, Mike.
Can I get you to hold that plaque, give it to him, looking at the camera? Sure.
Mike's an old friend.
This way, Ted. Oh.
Hurry up there. All right. I'm home. I stand right there. I'm home. No, I don't need me that I'm home. I am because we are. I am because of all of you. We make each other. We can't do this by ourselves. I've received a lot of awards. I've had a lot of acclaim in my life. I've had a lot of accomplishments of all kinds of stuff. Doesn't mean much to me. I had a ball yesterday with old friends, laughing and chuckling, and that's me. Me and my big cousin, we're on the phone every day, and she wouldn't bring me a liverwurst sandwich. My big little cousin here, Paulie, used to walk me to school, and we on the phone, and he reminds me that he's still in charge and what he'll do to me. And all those kind of things. Those are the things that are important to me. Joanne, my assistant pastor sitting back there who won't want to claim her position, and on and on and on. I could go on and on and on. But the only thing I want to say is this. We have to work together. And I only want to tell you one story. The story is about an anthropologist. And before I tell you the story about an anthropologist, I want to tell you about a guy that honed all my skills. My mentor, my great friend, the former mayor of Rochester, Bill Johnson, who's here with us today. Bill, stand up. You gotta stand up. You gotta stand up. When I left Auburn, I went to work for Bill. And he took a young, rough kid and just honed me into the administrator I became. And I appreciate it, Bill. And he's been a dear friend ever since. Well, anyway, there was an anthropologist that went to Africa, and he was going to study a tribe. He spent months and months there. And he's studying their culture, and he's looking at their different things. And it was time for him to go, and he enjoyed his time there. And he bought up a bunch of candy, and he got some sweet fruit, and he put it in a basket. And he put it by a tree. And he paced off 30 yards because there had been a bunch of kids that were always following him around and smiling and laughing and playing, and he wanted to do something for them. So he paced off 30 yards and he drew a line. And he put the kids behind the line and he said, when I say go, you run to the basket. And whoever gets there first gets the goodies. So the kids lined up, and the anthropologist said, on your mark, get set, go. And the kids grabbed each other's hands, and they started running together to the basket. And when they got to the basket, they sat down around the basket and started sharing the goodies. The anthropologist was befuddled. What in the world did y'all do that for? One of y'all could have ran there and got in the basket for themselves. And one little girl looked up at him and said, "What good is it for one of us to be happy with the rest of us being sad?" Auburn was built on greatness. Auburn will strive on greatness of togetherness. When John Hardenberg, Harriet and Kate Freeman came to this town, they were the foundation of building a great town. When people like Charles Finney and Father Nash were part of the great spiritual revival on Seminary Avenue, it was the first spiritual revival in the United States of America. The Alpha and Omega of the Underground Railroad movement started with Luke Freeman, Kate Freeman, Fannie Seward, Harriet Tubman Davis, and a whole host of other free people. And the greatness of Auburn will continue to grow with us if we make the commitment that it makes no sense for one of us to be happy while the rest of us are hurting. Mike, I thank you. Chuck, I thank you. And I love all of you. Thank you very much. I got one more announcement. Judy, I think I did my Sesame Street counting in my head, and I think we're under 40. I would like to invite everybody in the room right now to lunch with us over at Melody's, which is matter of fact, Judy, I'm going to let you make that announcement, okay?
Sure, Melody, would you like to?
Oh, Melody's right here.
CEO
CEO
of Melody.
of Melody's. It's free. It's not going to cost you a penny. Okay? And,
Congratulations, sir.
oh, well, thank you. And we're going over there after, you want us to take a tour of the,
Sure. I'd like to bring your family and anyone else down to the mayor's office. It's very unique and
we're going to the mayor's office first, and then everybody's a Freeman for the day. I told my buddies back there, so there's Billy Foster Freeman and George Bodine Freeman and Mike Belladine Freeman and Bob Barazic Freeman and
My name is Melody Smith Johnson, but today my name is Melody Freeman.
so all us Freemans are going down to the mayor's office, and then we're going to go to Melody's. Melody's, tell them what the deal is.
12 noon, Melody Freeman's is located at 128 Genesee Street in the Lorraine Building, right across from Parker's, and it's under green awning, the Lorraine Building at 12 noon. All right?
And look for the display of dazzling glasses and
Yes.
and you know you're at the right
A
place.
white curtain, so it's originally set for 40, so we Freemans know how to get in spaces, and we'll squeeze in, we'll put our chairs down, we'll make it happen, yeah? All right, thank you so much.
Oh, and my sister Debbie got an hour and a half off of work so she could be here.